This is how I started solo traveling. So this video is not a travel vlog. I'm not going to be sharing places I went, activities I recommend. It's more to share how I kickstarted my solo traveling journey. And I am not a full-time traveler, I'm just an ordinary girl who chose to travel to explore life's possibilities. And I share a lot of my travels on my social media, and a lot of people tell me that they're living vicariously through me. And every time they say that, I'm like, you can do it too. It's really not as scary as you think. I mean, I get it, right? Like, you're in an unfamiliar environment, strangers, maybe language barriers, you don't know whether it's safe or not. And all these fears are so real. And I guess the most important thing is that you might be questioning whether you are able to take care of yourself, whether you have the ability to trust yourself. And my advice is just put yourself out there, and you will realize how strong you actually are when you're in situations that you've never been to before and you have no help. Then it's like you have no choice but to rely on yourself, but to step out of your comfort zone. So maybe I'll share an overview of my solo traveling journey. I started when I was 22 years old. I went to Taiwan for a week, and then when I was 23 I went to Bali for a week, and I also went to Europe for 5 months. Then when I was 24 I went to Taiwan for 3 months, and now I'm 25. And no travel plans so far. Okay, let's get started. Let me share how I started my first solo trip in Taiwan. I'm just looking through my pictures. Okay, so I have a very simple and practical way to get started, which is also what I did, which was to extend a holiday with my friends. So my friends and I planned to go to Taiwan for 2 weeks, and I extended for a week. And Taiwan is like one of my favorite countries. It's safe, it's comfortable for me. I can speak Chinese, so there's no language barrier. I know it's safe and it's easy to get around with public transport. So I guess my first tip is choose a country that you're familiar with, you're comfortable with. Maybe you've gone there for a few times already, and everything is like accessible. You know, it's similar to your home country. Like, I would say Taiwan's pretty similar to Singapore. And then my second tip is just extend the holiday with your friends. For example, you go with them for a few days, and then you can extend for a few days by yourself. Because sometimes even taking the flight alone is scary. I still get scared, like, oh, where's my boarding gate? What if I miss my flight? Where do I go? And all these things. I'm still like very lost sometimes. So, going like there, going to a country with like friends, you feel like safer maybe. So I was in Taipei and Taichung with my friends for 2 weeks. I'll share some of my favorite places. This one is Gaomi Wetlands in Taichung. It's super pretty place to catch the sunset and the windmill. And when the tide is low, you can actually walk out. Super pretty, but it's extremely windy. I went hiking with my friends. My favorite yam place in Fengjia night market, like the biggest night market in Taiwan. So I'm just like showing like some places that I like out since I'm looking through my photos now. Taiwan egg pancake for breakfast. I love like craft markets. I love handmade stuff, and it's a pretty big thing in Taiwan. And then there's this shop at Shenji New Village where they sell postcards, and they also have like a letter box where you can write to your future self or write to whoever you want. So it goes by like year and month. So 22-year-old me wrote to 24-year-old me, and let me bring this up. This is a letter I wrote to myself, and I want to read it. Okay, context is I wrote this in December 2022, and it's May 2025 now. So it's been about 2.5 years. That's why I say, Dear Denise, are you living the life you want? Are you experimenting with different ways of life? Are you living your best life? Life is short and long. Don't waste it doing things you already know you don't like. Go out there, go fail, go learn. Be the person you've always wanted to be. Live your dreams. You are awesome. You have what it takes. Love, Denise. So I wrote this on my first solo travel trip without knowing that I would go backpacking the next year to Europe, a continent that I've never been to before. Pretty awesome, huh? Anyway, I went back to Taiwan like 2 years later with myself, and I went back to the exact same shop. I love the shop so much. Okay, anyway, moving on. I also celebrated New Year's in Taiwan. Happy New Year! I think that was my first time celebrating New Year's overseas, and I was at Ximending, this place where it's kind of famous for gay people together, and so it was a very interesting countdown. Yeah, and then so 2 weeks later, after my friend's death, I went to Kaohsiung, which is like south of Taiwan at the bottom, and it was pretty quiet. Maybe it's a low season. There's not a lot of people. It's far from the city, and let's see where I went. Oh, so back then I haven't tried staying in hostels. I booked this family-owned hotel, like pretty cozy, and it feels like an Airbnb, but they own the whole like floor. So you get like there's like laundry services. There is like a kitchen area. It feels like a hostel except you get private rooms, and it was like $50 a night, so that was alright. And then in Kaohsiung, I remember I was in this big field, like just sitting alone, people watching people walk their dogs, play the dogs, and I sat there from like late afternoon to evening till night. And it was back then I had this dream of being a digital nomad. I think like since young I really had the idea that I don't really want a normal full-time job. I don't want to be stuck in the office from morning to evening. And back then, like, I was also doing some freelance social media copywriting. Yeah, so there was me, my laptop, and yeah, I thought, okay, maybe I could make this work. Maybe I could try this thing out, you know? And I had the best dark rides of my life. I walked into this really dark alleys. It was kind of scary, honestly. But I was like, no harm. Just go, man. It was so fucking good. And then I went to this little island off Taiwan called Qijing, and they're famous for their black sand. So I went there because I wanted to learn surfing. It's also been like a dream, like an island goal dream. And I went there too late. I think I was supposed to like cycle or take the bus or whatever. I didn't know how. I just walked. So by the time I got to the beach and found the surf shop, it was like too late, and they were saying like it's too cold, it's too dark, come back again the next day. And so I ended up picking like a bag of seashells. And yeah, I went back the next day to learn surfing in Taiwan. Yeah, okay, yeah, about it, yeah, I don't really want to go in depth to like things I did. I actually didn't do much when I was alone in Kaohsiung. I just went to night markets, okay, first there's not a lot of things to do there, so it was like a pretty boring week, and for some reason I wasn't feeling well. So I was just like resting, like low energy. I wasn't like out there exploring. So I guess it was a very like pretty chill and interesting first solo trip. I didn't really feel that adventurous to meet people. So my first solo trip and my subsequent like solo trips are really different, but I mean it's just a start, right? So yeah, and I just want to say that this is not scripted. So I'm really just going the flow, and I'm just gonna add the pictures that I was looking at into this video so you get a reference. And I just want to say that like first, traveling is not as expensive as people think. I mean, if you're going by tour, if you're staying in hotels, all these things, it's gonna be expensive. But if you don't mind budget flights, you don't mind hostels, you don't mind like maybe a lower cost country, like let me tell you, it's really possible to travel with really little money. I'm not saying about Taiwan. I'll share more about my other trips in the next few videos, and I swear it only gets more interesting. This is like seriously a pretty like boring trip. Not boring as in I didn't enjoy it, but I like the chillness of it. But I'm just like sharing because I just want to share how I got started solo traveling, and maybe you can do it too, and maybe this will encourage you to do it too. If you want to comment on Instagram or on YouTube comments, just yeah, just do it. I'm happy to inspire you to travel. And if you have any questions, just ask. Okay, see you in the next one. Bye. Oh, one more thing that I forgot to add is that I really recommend walking around to explore places. I personally don't like to Google for attractions to go to unless I don't know, but usually I just like to walk around. And then there was this time in Kaohsiung when I was walking around like this market that I wanted to visit, but for some reason it was closed, and I don't understand why. And I was like walking around for hours around the place hoping that it will open. I mean, it still didn't, but I found the shop because it looked like it was selling jacket and I needed one. So I went in, and then the owner told me that this place is like messy because he's preparing to move out, but I can take a look. So I did, and then he invited me to sit down for tea, and I was like, oh wow, like okay, how to say? I was like, apparently this can be quite common in like Taiwan's hospitality. I'm not saying that it happens all the time, but I think it happens with like smaller shops and warmer owners. So anyway, I got invited for tea, and I was like, oh my god, I got free tea. Then I was like talking to him about the tea, and he says like he actually goes up to the mountain to like okay, not pluck, but like yeah, he sees the whole process before like he gets tea and whatnot. And then I got from him a ceramic mug that has been my favorite mug since that tree. Yeah. Anyway, like this is how I usually talk to my friends, and I just wanted to try this more chill, casual, and stress-free way of recording. Yeah, I mean, this is so nice. I don't need a script. I don't need to do a retake. This is just one take, and like, yay, I'm done. So tell me if you like it.